Hi, a very good morning to you, a very good morning to you, a very good morning to everyone who is always joining our live segments every single day. We have started this since the lockdown here in Botswana. We have started the segments of working on ourselves. We are aware that this is the right moment to work on our mental ability, to make on our mental capability. We are working on ourselves. This is very, very, very important. There comes a point when all we need is to work on our psychological being, to work on our mental being, and it puts us in a position where we are intentional about being our best self through our emotions, our best self through the way we think, the way we engage with others. It's all from the thoughts. It's all embedded in our thoughts, and therefore it's a challenge that every single day when we wake up, we have to show up knowing that we can do better. We have to show up knowing that this is the right day to be alive. This is the right time to be here. This is the best moment to be here. We are aware that this is a blessing. So we thank God every single day that God, we thank you for your power and your ability and your presence to be here and leading us every single day. You are giving us that magnificent power to continue to enable us to be the best self we can be. And we are thankful and we are grateful to God for this opportunity to be alive. This too shall pass. Everything that we are faced with, it shall pass. All this that we are looking for, we are going to get. Everything that you are looking for is also looking for you. Everything that you are looking for is also looking for you. I see already I'm within, coach. That is so fast. That is so fast. If you are watching, if you join us, make sure you share where you are watching from so that we can connect with each other to know what's happening around our communities, to know what's happening during this time. So every single day we are waking up with one thing: I can do better, I can get better, things can change for me, things can improve for me. So we continuously challenge ourselves to get better and improve in the way we do things, in how we do things, and how we show up and how we build things. So for the past 7 days or the past 6 days, we have been talking about the psychological part of how can we become better during this crisis, how can we improve ourselves, how can we change things around, how can we improve the way we do things. And it has been our commitment over the past 6 days. So today we are going to be talking about something amazing. We are going to be talking about dealing with our emotions, dealing with anxiety, and dealing with stress, dealing with our emotions, dealing with anxiety, and dealing with our stress. So it is the right time right now to know how can we control our emotions, how can we engage our emotions, how can we get in a position where we are inspiring growth in ourselves regardless of what is happening around us. This is today where I'm going to share with you how do you keep calm during the midst of this trouble, during whatever you are going through. How can you keep calm? How can you control your internal world so that you dictate the outcomes you want to get, so that you dictate the progress you want to make in your life, you dictate the success and the breakthroughs you want to have in your life. Every single thing that you are going to get through this crisis, during this crisis, is what you are able to maintain in your internal world. Every single thing that you are going to get, the breakthroughs you are going to get. I see Opelontwa. Welcome on board, Opelontwa. I hope your internet is doing well. I hope your internet is fine today. And already it's a welcome on board. And I see more people sharing. Where are you watching from? Where are you joining us from? We are happy to have you right now. It means God has given you another day because you still have something to do. You are still here, and that means you are still in the game. You have something to play. You have a role to play. You have a mandate to accomplish. You are a man or a woman in a mission. So now you are here because you have to build something. You have to introduce something. You have to share something. You have to connect with someone. You have to help someone. You have to help yourself. You are here, and that means you are still in the game. So we are thankful of where you are right now. This is Miriam, Cam are very important. Thank you, Miriam. Make sure you continue to join us every single day as we talk about how can we get better, how can we improve. And then Lopang Sebeke are listening. Thank you, Lopang, for joining us this morning. And remember, if there is something you are dealing with, something that you are going through, any clarifications you like to have, on the comment box here, just write #help so that we can connect. I have my number, it's 74776196, 74776196. So if you need any connections, if you need any talk, if you need any engagement further than the presentation that I'm going to make sure you connect with me on that number. So I see she say Lopangare, listening from Muchudi. Thank you so much for joining us from Muchudi. And like I said, for the past 6 days, we have been talking about the personal development principles on evolving, on getting better, on growing, on creating momentum for ourselves, on how can we get better during a time of crisis, that every single person, they can do well when things are going well. Everyone can do well when things are going well. But it's during a time of crisis that the real show up. It's during a time of crisis that intentional individual, they show up. It's during this time of crisis that people are saying, I am willing to build this for myself. They are not just doing that for themselves. They are not just doing that, because they are capable, but they are aware that during crisis, very few people engage on their emotions. During crisis, very few people are controlled by what is happening around them. During crisis, very few people are living their lives to automation, their health to automation. They eat anything, they eat anyhow, and they gain weight. I am one of them. I'm guilty of that. I am eating too much during this crisis. I need your support. For those who are health fanatics, you really have to help me in that. So during crisis, that we end up losing the control we have of our emotions, and we end up doing what? We end up pursuing what everyone else is doing. And we find that we are not in control because we are not in control of our emotions. That is why I have a burning desire today to talk about how can we deal with our emotions, our anxiety, and our stress during this moment of crisis. I see how I'm within from Mahalapi, and Daniel I'm within the WhatsApp group and other social platforms. We need more of this, brother. Blessed morning. And then Sibusisiwe from Eswatini, morning leaders watching from Eswatini. Thank you so much, Sibusisiwe, for joining us again this morning. Pinda again from Swaziland. I see Swaziland is doing its best to come on board. Thank you so much, guys. But now, during crisis, how can we make a breakthrough through our emotions and dealing with anxiety? There is something that I want to share, a quote that I want to share. I read on one website called Very Well Mind. They say, feeling any feelings of anger or frustration can be a signal that something needs to change. Feelings of anger and frustration can be a signal that something needs to change. If you don't change the situation or the thought patterns you have, you are causing the uncomfortable emotions. You will continue to be triggered by them. Feelings of anxiety and anger is a reflection or a signal that something needs to change. And if you don't change that thinking pattern, if you don't change that, always thinking that things are not in control, things are not able to deal with issues, then you are constantly going to be triggered by that. During crisis, it's very, very simple. Point number one that I want to share with you why I'm talking about dealing with your emotions. Number one is this. Many people today are governed by their emotions and they are not governed by their own principles. Many people today, they are governed by their emotions and they are not governed by their principles. They have allowed their emotions to use them. That is what my mentor said. If you don't use your emotions, they will use you. If you don't take care of your emotions, they will take care of you. If you don't build intentional steps, decisions on dealing with your emotions, if you are emotional all the time, you are not allowing your intelligent mind, you are not engaging your creative mindset, you are allowing emotions to run you anyhow, they will destroy your future, they will destroy your family, they will destroy your career. There are so many people today who are regretting the opportunities they have missed, the breakthroughs they have missed, because they have allowed their emotions to take over. We are all emotional beings, but we are not going to make permanent decisions out of temporary situations because of how we feel today. How you feel is okay, but how you respond, that's what matters. How you feel is okay, but how you respond is that what matters. Because many a times we are operating from our emotions and we are not operating from our intelligence. And therefore our lives are ruined and are not going the way we want them to go because we are constantly tapping on our emotions. Now, this is what most people do. Because I feel this way, it means people don't love me. Because I feel this way, it means he does not understand me. Because I feel like he's cheating me, it means he is cheating me. Because I feel like she does not love me anymore, then they don't love me anymore. Most people today are making permanent decisions out of their emotions. Most people today, and you should not be one of them today, they are making permanent decisions out of their emotions. Because of how they feel, they are interpreting the world not as it is, but they are interpreting the world the way they see it through their emotions. And therefore, emotions are always at play for them. They are the on and off people. Why are they on and off? Hey, Yohau Talwan is an on and off person. What do they mean by that? This is the person who is controlled by emotions. The emotions, one characteristics of emotions is that they come and go. Feelings come and go. How you were feeling this morning when you wake up is different from how you are feeling right now because of the change in environment. And therefore, our emotions keep on evolving and changing. Now, most people right now, even when we talk about personal change, personal growth, they are not growing because they are still operating on the emotions they felt 5 years ago. They are still holding on the grudge of things that happened to them 10 years ago. So they are still operating from the emotions of the activities that happened 15 years ago. They are bitter, not because they are bitter people, but because the bitterness they were responding to a situation that happened to them 4 hours ago, they are still holding on to that. Emotions are like that. They come and go. But you as an individual, you make a decision that from now onwards, I am not going to be operating from the things that happened 4 years ago. I am not going to be operating from the things that happened 10 years ago. There are amazing and great people today who are still holding on to the things that happened to them years ago, and they are not able to establish empowering and beautiful relationships because the picture of their emotions is printed with relationships. People are not loyal. People are cheating. As soon as they have a password, oh, it means they are seeing someone. Now, these emotions are embedded in us. So now we are making permanent decisions about our important aspects of our lives from the emotions that we have felt 17 years ago. What a very destructive force we can be to ourselves. Now, you have to know that during this crisis, there are so many things that are going to happen, and your emotional being is very important. As you take care of what you eat, take care of the emotions you build inside of you. As you take care of your kids, take care of your emotional bank account. Your emotional bank account. Some of us today, because of what we have been through, we have depleted our emotional bank account. We are at negative 120. We are bankruptcy. I don't know how the name. So we are bankrupt in our emotional bank account. We don't have any emotions that fosters growth, that fosters development, that fosters peace, that fosters love. We are not loving anymore because we are operating from what we used to feel. And the feelings of the past have overtaken and overrated the feelings of the now. That even when the situation has passed away, we are still sad. But the things that made us sad happened to us in the past. I want you to make a personal commitment that from now onwards, you are not going to have any attachments to your emotions. We have built so many strong attachments to our emotions, such that now we are not operating from our higher level of thinking, we are operating from our higher level of feelings. Feelings come and go, and you will still be here. And we want to deal with you in the present moment with your present feelings, not showing up with a bank account of emotions from 70,000 years ago, from the emotions of your great forefathers, your ancestors. We don't want you to be operating from that. We need you now to be aware that you are damaging and killing your career right now. You are killing your relationship right now because of your insecurities that you've built from the emotions of your past relationships. And now I'm showing up as lit, as clean as I can be, but what you see is someone who is going to break my heart. And I have no intention of that. But you keep on showing up like that because your bank account of emotions, oh man, is filled with insecurities, with disaster, with unworthiness, feeling of distrust, feeling of insecurities, feeling of misunderstandings. And every single day when you open your mouth, it's like a weapon that is out there to destroy. So check yourself out. What have you built in the inside of your emotional bank account? That was point number one. Many people today, they are operating from their emotions. They are not operating from their principles and values. Yes, my mentor said to me, there gets a point where you need is negotiable, but there gets a point where you must move away from operating on your feelings to operating on your principles. There has to be a point, and this is the day, this is the moment where you need to move away from operating from your feelings to operating from your principles. Why, Mr. Makwana? Because at the end of your feelings, there is nothing. But at the end of your principles, there is a promise. At the end of your feelings, there is nothing. But at the end of your principles, there is a promise. You cannot do anything that lasts that is based on emotions and feelings, that is based on anxiety and stress. We are all stressed. We are seeing this monster for the first time. No, none of us today was prepared, even across the world, was prepared for this issue, for this epidemic. No one knew that it was coming. Now, we are all facing this for the first time, and none of us has an excuse why they cannot rise up every single morning and take care of themselves. We all feel stressed. We all feel depressed. We are all affected. No one is ready. No one is in a position where they can say, oh, I am fine. No one is fine. But if you are going to be operating from your emotions, if you are going to be operating from your feelings, know that at the end of your feelings, there is nothing. But at the end of your principles, there is a promise. Because feelings come and go. And at the end of the day, you are not going to have anything. With principles, waking up every day, say, I'm a man of virtue. I show up to deliver incredible results. My mission is to be empowering, to be inspiring. I want to see people change and influence them to become better. I want to see behavioral change in families, in businesses, in organizations. I want to see people live their best life right now. I want people to show up with motivation, say, I can do this. That is my personal mission. If I operate from my feelings, I still remember so well in high school, my love life in high school. I remember one Sunday, I was calling the person that I thought I was dating. Very important key element. I thought I was dating. And I was calling them in Sunday evening. I was preparing for maths. We were about to write the final examinations. And I say to them, hey, would you like us to meet before we finish these exams? Because as we finish these exams, we are going to part our ways, and you are going back to your village and I'm going to my village. And she said to me, I did not know that we were dating. It was devastating. But the following morning, I was supposed to show up for maths exam. I was stressed. I felt all the anxiety. I felt all the depression. There are so many instances. I still remember some years back when I was about to write my Form 3. I show up to the hospital where my younger sister was hospitalized. And when I show up there, I look through the window, the wind blowing in, and I can see her sleeping there on the bed. And my mother was saying, today she managed to sleep. She's feeling much better. Usually, she's always on pain and mourning. And I said, no, if that's the case, I will see her tomorrow. Please let her sleep so that tomorrow when I come, I will come and see her. And the next morning, the first call that I heard was that my sister was late. And it was a painful experience. But I was supposed to go and write my Form 3. I was supposed to show up and write my Form 3. because pain will pass, but what will replace it is success, is breakthrough. We are all pained. We are all feeling pain. We are all in our pain points. We don't feel comfortable. We are pressed from all sides, but we are not going to let our feelings and our emotions to dictate our destiny. We are not going to let our feelings and emotions to dictate our victories. We are not going to let our feelings and pain to dictate what we are capable of doing. We show up every single morning because we are aware. Feelings come and go. Feelings show up and go. But every single day when you wake up, you have to choose your attitude. Which attitude am I going to approach this day with? Today I choose to approach this day with confidence, with boldness, with creativity, with love, with passion, with compassion, with caring, with understanding. You choose your attitude every single day when you wake up. And therefore, you must be mindful what you are choosing. Don't choose anything that is about feelings. Choose that which can last, which is your principle. At the end of your feelings, there is nothing. But at the end of your principle, there is a promise, my friend. There is a promise. So if you go through pain, we are all going through pain. This too shall pass. When you go through instances you cannot understand, situations you are not aware of what you are going to do, this too shall pass. When you go through hard times, remember, good times are coming. When you are going through good times, remember, bad times are coming. We are constantly in the roller coaster. This is life, my friend. The on and the ups and the downs. And the good thing about being down is that from there, the only way to go is up. So we are aware now that our feelings are not controlling our destiny. We are controlling our destiny. We are in control of our destiny, because our destiny does not depend on our feelings. It depends on our decisions. Every single day we are making intentional decisions about our destiny. So I want you to write this: small feelings, big dreams. Small feelings, big dreams. Our small feelings should not dictate the dreams we want to achieve. How I'm feeling today should not dictate the rest of my life. Today will pass and tomorrow is a new day with a new adventures, new opportunities. This is the day that the Lord has made, and therefore I shall rejoice in it. We are waking up with that courage and the attitude and the mindset that this is the day that I'm going to make my breakthroughs. I see Ompile Masaku, top of the morning, watching from Tamara. TMG, thank you. Amulanye say, preach it, say. I see Opelo Ntwa say, emotions can control a person so badly. They do. If you don't control your emotions, they will use you. Lisa, are watching from Brooklyn. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us. And please, guys, please make sure you share this with the people in your network. Share this with the people in your network. I want to share my second point. When you are operating on your emotions, it makes you irrelevant. Oh my God. When you are operating on your emotions, it makes you irrelevant. When you are operating on your emotions every single day, it makes you irrelevant. Emotions comes from one activity to the other. If this morning you are having a meeting and your boss is saying to you, you are not productive, you don't show up at work early, even if you are showing up at work early, your emotions will do what? They will rise and say, oh man, but they don't respect me, they don't honor me, I'm going to quit this job. Your emotions are telling you that. Now, after that meeting with your boss, you are going to see Mompoloki Makwana now, who is your colleague in your place. And Mompoloki is saying, hey Tato, how are you feeling? Now, if you are going to allow what happened to you 2 hours ago to be a part of influential decisions of what is happening right now, you are irrelevant. The emotions you have about what happened to you yesterday should not be hindering the decisions you have to be making about your future today. When you show up with yesterday's emotions on today's issues, today is a new day. When you show up on the meeting right now, because of your discouragement and your loss of interest, your loss of motivation, now you are irrelevant now to the situation we are discussing right now. Because now you are not fully presenting yourself. You are, maybe you are giving me 30%. You are giving me 20%. So emotions, when we operate from them, they make us irrelevant. We end up showing for important elements in our lives without showing up with our zeal and our passion. And so many people today, they say the last time I talked to my husband before he died was this, and I'm not happy about it. The last time I saw my sister, I was saying this to her, and I'm not happy, because by that you were not a bad person. You were operating from bad emotions, and now that bad emotions were the last impressed on that person. That was the impression you left. Now, you can't show up to the next relationship, next engagement with purity of heart, with zeal, with passion, with love, because you are operating from the emotion from the previous experience. Now, you are irrelevant right now, because now we are dealing with love, and your emotions are about hatred. Oh, don't trust men. Men are dogs. Kinds of statement we say. So now we are operating on a different scale, and you are still coming up with a different scale from a lower level. Every single day, choose the higher level. Be present. Show up knowing that this conversation has nothing to do with what I faced 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is a new experience. I am going to get the best out of this experience. And therefore, with my judgmental, I'm putting it away. My insecurity, I'm putting it away. My assumptions, putting them away. I am showing this to this conversation with presence of heart, purity of thought, purity of thinking, purity of negotiation, purity of discussion. And therefore, I am willing to get the best out of this present moment. When you operate, guys, from your emotions, you become irrelevant, because to the present situation, you are dealing with your past emotions. So be mindful when you have conversations with people. They are not talking about the current situation. They are talking about themselves. They are talking about what they've gone through. And therefore, if you are not emotional aware, they will drain you. They will suck your energy. They will leave you feeling so sad. They will make you feeling powerless because of the emotion they bring to the table. Because two characteristics, one, I said emotions come and go. Two, emotions are contagious. As we keep around people who are always negative, complaining, even when you are showing up to talk about a business deal of 20,000, there's someone who can show up to the table and they can make you feel like you are worthless. Even when you have $1 billion puller, billions of pullers in your account, there is someone who can show to your table right now. One call, one message, one text message, someone saying something that can make you feel so worthless. That can make you to kill yourself. That can make you to get in a position to break the relationship that you are having. The beautiful relationship you are having. One message can make you do that. So when we operate from our emotions, we become irrelevant. Principles, they stand the test of time. Operate from your principles. And then point number 3. There are great people out there who have left emotions to ruin everything they had. There are great and amazing individuals here who have left their emotions to take over their decisiveness, who have left their emotions to take over their intelligence. Listen to me. They have degrees and they are certificated, they are educated, they are well experienced, they are well paid, but their emotional bank account is at negative. And because of that one aspect of emotional intelligence, very expensive element today, when you talk about anything that's paying today, is the issue of emotional intelligence. People are no longer interested in qualifications. They are interested in, do we have an individual who can stand the test of time, who have principles that can stand the test of time. We don't want people, they say something that I once shared. I said, there's nothing unknowing and boring like a qualified, educated people with a bad attitude. There's nothing unknowing and boring like a qualified person with a bad attitude. Now, these are very expensive characters: emotional intelligence, positive attitude. Now, we have great and amazing individuals, employees, business owners, teachers, lecturers, whatever you can name, all the professions, nurses, doctors. They're great people, qualified, educated, experienced. Yes, but emotional bank account, 0. There's nothing in that emotional bank account, and they have destroyed everything, regardless of what they are capable of doing, their experiences, the amount of money they are earning, the relationship they have. They have destroyed everything because they lack emotional intelligence. If you don't use your emotions well, they will use you. So, my quest and my request to you right now is that you may start operating and understanding that emotions, they form the foundation of your future. And every single day, you must be aware of what you are going to put on your table and what you are going to throw away. You have the power to decide today where you are going to be operating from. It may be painful, I know. It may be hurtful, I know. Broken-hearted, yes. People used you, yes. People cheated you, yes. But you have the power today to decide. I decide that from now onwards, I am going to take intentional steps about my future, but not to prove anyone wrong. From now onwards, I am going to take intentional steps about my future, but not from my emotions, not from my feelings. I am aware that my future depends on my ability to deal with myself. I am going to deal with my emotions. I am going to decide on what I can do. I am choosing to focus on what I can change. I am letting go that which I cannot change. I am choosing to become a force of love. In the midst of hatred, in the midst of misunderstanding, I am choosing to be an understanding person. In the midst of jealousy, people cheating, breakdowns, marriage breakdowns, relationship breakdown, firing, loss of jobs, I choose to be a force of stillness and of peace. You have the immense power to choose between life and death. You have that power. And therefore, every single day when you wake up, you don't have any excuse why you should choose boredom, why you should choose distrust, why you should choose hatred, why should you choose lack of loyalty, why should you choose sadness, why should you choose anxiety today, why should you choose happiness today, why should you choose joy today. You have that decision on your plate. Every single day when you wake up, it's like your table is cleared up. Yesterday's emotion cleared up. Clean. That's what God does. When we go to sleep, He cleans the table of yesterday. He says, my son, today I'm preparing your daily bread. He says that. Your daily bread. Every single day. Now, He is putting something new to the table. Don't block the new blessing from coming to your table because you are still dealing with yesterday's blessings. Some of you have been doing so well from a young age, showing up, exciting, doing things, being productive, showing up, promotion after promotion. And at some level, those blessings now they have hindered you. You are thinking, I'm the best, now I can relax. Now I can just show up at work anytime. Your emotions are clouding your judgment. They are killing your future. You keep showing up every single day like it's your first day. You keep showing up every single day like that. That's the first time you got hired. When you do that, you set yourself for greater things. Not for good, not for exceptional, but greater things. Phenomenal things. And phenomenal in our lives begin to show up when we show up every single day like this. The first time we met this girl. It's the first time I got married to this husband. It's my first time to get in this relationship. This is my first time talking to you. This is my first gig ever. This is my first motivational talk video. When you show up every single day with that determination and courage, you eliminate emotions from the past to stop misleading your decisions. When you show up every single morning, knowing that this is a new day. This is a new day. And here is what motivates me, ladies and gentlemen. When I wake up every single morning, I know there are other people in my field who may be starting today and they can take over whatever that I've built over the years. I'm aware that I was amazing yesterday, but because I didn't do anything today, I'm not amazing. Some people today, they are still thinking that they are amazing because they did amazing things 15 years ago. For the past 15 years, they've been not doing anything. They're still holding on to that one breakthrough, one success they've made. They're stuck in the past. It's a good thing, but they're still stuck in the past good thing. So they are not showing up every single day to show us how amazing they can potentially be because they are still holding on what they did yesterday. Now your success is killing you more success. Your success is killing your destiny now. Your little success now is destroying what you can possibly become. One book written, now you think you are the best author in the world. One promotion, now you think you are the best employee in the world. Today is a new day, you are not. And today is a campaign for the goodness. Today is a campaign for the best employee. So every single day when I wake up, I know if I don't show up and do my best, I am not the best. You are the best on what you are doing now, not what you did yesterday, not what you are planning to do. No. That one we don't have any account on. But what you are doing right now, that's when we can say you are the best. You are amazing, Mompoloki Makwana. You are quite exceptional. You are marvelous. You are great. Not when Corona is not here. When you are seeing me on the events and I'm speaking there, wow, it's an amazing. I cannot be amazing when there is no Corona and Corona show up and I'm not amazing. Most of the people today, they're still waiting for this circumstance to pass. I still be amazing in the times of Corona. I still show up in the time of Corona. I still speak to people in the time of Corona. Why? Because if I don't show up, it does not matter what I did a year ago. What matters is what I'm doing right now. So emotions, they should not keep you stuck in what you did yesterday. Today is a new day. Today we are calling on the new players to show up. And if you don't show up, you are not qualified. You qualify yourself every single morning. Regardless of how you feel, that does not count. Showing up, that's what that counts. I don't know any takeaways you have taken from this conversation right now. And I'd like you to share on a comment here. Any takeaway you've gotten from this conversation so far. Share it on the comments here. I see Obelontware, very true. I saw emotions on play yesterday during parliamentary debates. That's a very good debate. That is a very good example of how emotions can rule the people that we think they are in the ruling. How emotions can rule the people we think they are in control. I've said it all. You can be in highest positions. You can be well paid. You can be in all these platforms. You can be this magnificent gentleman. But your emotional bank account can be at negative and it can destroy everything. Our emotions and how we deal with our emotions exposes our real selves. Our emotions and how we deal with emotions exposes our real selves. When everything is good, everyone can be good. When everything is going well, everyone can do well. When there is happiness, everyone can be happy. But the real challenge of growth is being able to choose happiness when everything around you is sadness. The real challenge of growth is choosing progress when everything around you is not even adding up. The real challenge of growth is choosing to see joy when everything around you says kill yourself, hang yourself, commit suicide. That's the real challenge of growth. That's the defining moment of our lives. It's not how much things we have done before. It's how much decision can we make at this present moment to override our feelings and do what is right. That is the challenge of growth. So we have so many older people, emotional intelligence at 0. Amazing individual leaders, emotional intelligence 0. And then when times are pressing, we really see their reality. We really see what they are capable of doing. We're like, oh, I didn't think that he could do this. How many people today we know who have hanged themselves? The people we love. I still remember my uncle. He was a soldier. I was admiring him at a young age, at 10, 15 years. And I still remember the news coming to our place. And they say he is no more. He have hanged himself. Soldier, with all the badges, with all the yes say, emotional intelligence and controlling emotions, 0. And I don't blame anyone. We are not taught these things in our schools. That is why I'm here. I was born for times like this, to remind you, your emotions will pass. At the end of your emotions, there's nothing. But at the end of your principles, there's a promise. My last point. When what you did not expect shows up and you are not emotionally stable, it will consume you. When you are not emotionally stable, when things happen that you did not expect, they are going to consume you. Dealing with the outside circumstances is nothing but dealing with our internal world. Dealing with the outside circumstances is nothing but dealing with our internal world. When we are able to be calm during this moment, to calm our inner world, nothing in the outside will challenge us. I'm going to share two quotes to affirm that. Number one is Robert Waldo Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said this: what lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters as compared to what lies within us. What lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within ourselves. That within ourselves, we have this unlimited potential boiling pot of greatness. But sometimes, because we allow those things around us to dictate what we are going to do, we end up stepping away from our lane and our zone and focusing on the outside, and we can only lose any battle when we move from our own lane to try to fight people in their own lanes. We only lose in our business deals, in our careers, in our relationships, when we move from our personal strategies to try to fight people with the way they do. I still remember a statement Master once shared with me. I was doing my Form 4 at Matsare Hill School. She used to be on radio. She inspired me a lot. I said, I want to be on radio, on RB2. She said this thing: when worms, these creatures which is crawling on the soil, when worms are fighting and you know that you are a butterfly, do not come from the trees, the beautiful flowers, to come to the ground to fight them. Most people today, now, we have left our lane, our emotional bank accounts. Now, we are trying to fight with people who have a negative. You are 100% with your emotions. You are good with your emotions. Well, check that. Emotionally stable, how to control emotions, it's all check. But now, you are stepping out of your lane to go and try to fight people who are not emotionally intelligent. And they will consume you all day long. They will consume you every single day. So you must be aware. When you are not emotionally stable, when the things you do not expect show up, they may consume you. Point number 2, under that, I talked about what lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. I get it. But then the next point that I want to address that thing, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Which means you are in control of your emotions, your decisions, your future, where you are going, your decisions, and everything. You are not in control of what other people think about you, what other people are saying about you, what other people are talking about you, what other people are planning for you. You are not in control of that. You are in control of you. And that gives you your power. You have the power to be where you are. That is why the message today is the battle within. Nothing. When we win our internal battle, we are able to win our external battles. Nothing in the outside can control us. If in the inside of us is peace, love, harmony, joy, progress, wishing people well, wishing people to succeed, when that is filled in your heart, it's close to impossible to show up and curse other people. When love is filled in your heart, there is not possible to speak hatred. When love is controlling in your internal world, it's not possible to go. When motivation and zeal and courage is in your heart, it's not possible to go out there and discouraging people and pulling others down. What you are doing is the true reflection of your internal world. Now, please and please and please work on your emotional bank account. I think I'm going to do a booklet on dealing with emotions, anxiety, and that, so that and maybe start a course on that, so that we start teaching people how to control their emotions. Because human beings, we are emotional beings, but we have control over what we decide on what is happening around us. During this crisis, we can decide to cry, to run away, to blame, to curse, to do whatever we want to do. That's what you are going to make a difference on. The decisions you are going to make. What I'm saying does not make sense until you make sense to yourself and saying, during this crisis, because I feel this way, I'm not going to allow it to make me to create permanent decisions out of it. This too shall pass. You are not alone in this battle. We are all affected one way or the other. But people who are going to get out of this crisis and are able to build thriving careers, thriving businesses, thriving relationships are those who are dealing with the laundry they've put away for so long. There are certain things in your emotional bank account that has nothing to do with your future. And this day is the right day to start approaching them and say, I am no longer going to operate with what my uncle said to me. I'm no longer going to operate from what my mother said to me. I'm no longer going to operate from what he said when we broke up. He said he was doing me a favor. I'm not a dateable person. I am ugly. I don't have, this. You are not going to be operating from that from now onwards. You are going to operate from the script that I'm telling you right now. You are amazing. You are special. Emotions, they pass. At the end of your emotions, there is nothing. But at the end of your principles, there is something. Now, from now onwards, I want every single day when you wake up to write 5 principles that you are going to be operating from. 5 principles that you're going to be operating from. Every day when you wake up, this is the day that the Lord has made. Therefore, I will rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to write 5 principles. These are the principles today I am operating from. Clarity, love, joy, peace, and support. Now, you are finding, who can I support? What clarity do I need in my life? What love do I need? Who should I call? Who can I show the affection? As we do that, we become intentional and things are not happening by surprise. We are not getting surprise messages anymore. We know we are the beings of love, the beings of courage, the beings of empowerment, the beings of motivation. When I show up every day to motivate you, it should not come as a surprise. We are human beings. We thrive by helping each other. One of my favorite poets, I love poems. I used to write a lot of poems. I have so many books of poems I have not released yet. He said this: each of us, we are like angels, beautiful angels. Each of us, we are like angels. And we can only fly by embracing each other. Each of us, we are like angels with one wing. One wing. And we can only fly by embracing each other. You are a special angel with one wing. I am a special angel with one wing. And I can only fly. You can only fly when we embrace each other. So let's embrace each other and know we are capable of doing this. Remember, I have a PDF booklet on affirmations. When you wake up every day, you affirm your future. You connect to your future. The booklet is very, very, very cheap. It's a PDF. Make sure you text me on my WhatsApp 74776196 74776196. Make sure you text me immediately after this conversation so that you get your booklet. Very, very, very cheap. You get the booklet and the audio, and then you are going to join of other my coaching sessions when I end this leadership summit. Make sure you contact me to get your PDF affirmations, daily affirmations. Those who got the daily affirmations, I have not taught you how to use that booklet. Make sure you talk to me if you are interested. How can I use this booklet? How can it benefit me and my family? How can it benefit me and my career during this time of crisis? Guys, I have an academy called the Empowered Second Leadership Academy. If you would like to be part of that academy, make sure you contact me as well on the inbox or on my cell number. That's all I have to share about emotions today. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to be in control. Don't try to assume that because you are feeling this way, it means that it's that way. No. Emotions come and go. You are here and you are still in the game. So I'm challenging you every single day. Show up with love, joy, peace, and courage. Guys, thank you so much. My name is Mompoloki Makwana from Mwenaladau. Please take care of yourself and make sure to share this live feed. Please, let's share this live feed. See you again tomorrow. Enjoy your day.